a video on Clafoutis. So I need to make some Clafoutis, and my old recipe, I'm not entirely happy with it. It's one of those measurements when you use cups instead of actual measurements where weighing scales. So cup sizes vary and all that kind of stuff. You know, no two cups are the same. So and I don't want to have to buy a set of those cups. So they're all standard. I just kind of want a different recipe. So I found a different recipe. I'm going to give it a go. I'm not going to put any fruit in it. I just want to see if it works and how it turns out. And I also want to find out as well, because I want to save on washing up, and it makes a bit of a mess of the container, if I can use baking parchment in the container. So it's going to be 90 grams worth of sugar, and it's going to be 200 millilitres of milk. And then measuring jug. So if you just weigh it, now it'll have to be a measuring jug. So what's 200 millilitres? I really should have had this just ready instead of winging it. So that's 200 millilitres of sugar. Milk. It says, the recipe says butter. I'm not going to put any butter in it, so we'll find out if it really needs the butter in the recipe as well. So it'll probably just make it slightly bit richer. And then 2 eggs. I should have beaten them, but I'm going to mix it all together now, so I'm not going to beat them before. Thought of, I suppose should have put the eggs in the bowl first and mixed that, shouldn't I? And then add the sugar and the milk. And the recipe says vanilla as well. I'm not going to put any vanilla in it. I just want to see if it's a better recipe, definitely better ratio that I'm using already, and if it works, with the baking parchment. So those are mixed well enough, and then turn it off, and then we want 60 grams of plain flour. So it's not a lot of flour. Might need to do this recipe a couple of times. Yeah, 60 grams of flour. I don't think this is going to work. That's really kind of quite thin. So we'll see. I might make it again and up the flour content. So that in there, and it's going in the oven, which is 200 degrees. And we'll see how it turns out. I don't have high hopes. If I'm honest, that seems a little bit too liquid, but we'll find out. It's done. And it's certainly puffed up. Maybe a little bit overcooked, but we'll see. We'll just let it cool down a bit. I think it'll collapse, which is not really what I want it to do. But we'll see. We'll let it cool slightly, and then we'll see if it collapses and what it looks like after it's collapsed. But I think I'll do it. I'm already thinking that I'll do it again, and I'll put a little bit more flour in it so the batter's a bit thicker. Yeah, it's already starting to collapse. Yeah, we'll have a look at it. We'll let it cool for a bit, and then we'll kind of cut into it and see. All right, we're cooled, and it's shrunk. So we'll take out, we'll cut open, and we'll have a look. Should have had a knife ready, but you know. I think it needs a bit more flour in that. Nice. It's nice. Let's might try it with soft raisin flour, so it's a bit more cakey. I mean, it's essentially a sweet Yorkshire pudding. Essentially. Well, let's try it with soft raisin flour, and then we'll compare them both. That's all right. Yeah, so I'll make it part of this video, so it'll be like a 2-for-1 video rather than another video, and then we can compare them straight away. So that's what I'll do, but I'm not going to do it now, so I'm going out. Clafoutis made with soft raisin flour this time. So 200 milliliters of milk, 2 eggs, just that up a little bit, and then we've got 90 grams of sugar, yeah, 90 grams of sugar. And I was thinking actually as well, soft raisin flour's got baking powder in it, and baking powder makes everything rise and then evenly. So I'm going to get a big lump of sugar in there if I'm not careful. Don't want that falling in and ruining the recipe. So just slightly over 90, but that's fine. Give it a whisk, and then 60 grams of soft raisin flour. Yeah, so there's reasons for adding baking powder, and it might, instead of like that one has dropped in the centre there and high there and high there, it might stay high all over the top. So 60 grams, so we'll just have to see. And then we'll see how this turns out, and then I might just decide which I prefer. If I prefer the soft raisin flour or the plain flour more, and then I might just add a bit more flour to it, we'll see. So that in there. That seems thicker for some reason, I don't know why. No doubt we'll find out. Then into the oven, 200 degrees, and we'll see how it turns out. That's irritating, isn't it? Get my fingers a bit dirty. It's because I'm using the same paper again. There's your fingers. There we go, right, in the oven, and we'll see how it turns out. Let's have a look. And there you go. Ooh, still a bit. I don't know. I can see it's collapsing already. But it hasn't got that dip. It's kind of risen a little bit more evenly, which is the baking powder. Which is the baking powder. So we'll just kind of have to see. We'll let it cool for a bit and then I'll have a look at it. But I kind of want to avoid that. But we'll see what it's like. Right, let's have a look. So, it's more uniform with sunk back down. No, you see they both have done that. I don't think it really matters if you use soft raisin flour or not. You don't see them. It's not going to be much of a taste difference. Might do it again with a bit more flour. Might do a bit more soft frozen flour. 60 grams of flour for every 2 eggs. Maybe 100 grams. Maybe 100 grams of flour. And then we'll have a look. But it'll be tomorrow because it's getting quite late now. And I've done enough cooking. I'll wash it up for Monday, if I'm honest. Or have I? How long is it going to take to knock it up? Not that long. Not that long. Let's pause. Let's get some things together, and we'll do we'll do it again. Actually, I suppose I should do, since it's 90 grams of sugar, it should be 90 grams of flour. So let's do 90 grams instead of 100. The last of that one, so we just need a bit more. So if it's 90 grams, then it's easy to remember, isn't it? Just a little bit over that, fine. Back in the cupboard out of the way. That in the cupboard as well. So. That's about consistency. It's more like a batter consistency, is that? There into the container. Use the paper again. So it's always easier if you've got 2 of the same size of container to put the paper in and then press the other container on top, and then that fits in there nice and easy. So in there, I'm going to choose it. Same temperature. 200 degrees, 35, 40 minutes, something like that. And we'll see what it's like. Right, let's have a look. That looks better. That looks better, doesn't it? It's going to sink. It's going to sink, but I think it'll give us a slightly better result with a little bit more flour, because I just think that's a bit nice, to taste nice, and just a bit, you know what I mean? I think I want them to be a little bit. I want it to be a little bit more cakey, which it's not. It's a batter. It's a batter cake, but it's difficult if you're cooking something like this at home, friends or family. It's kind of easy because you bake it, and when it's ready, it comes out of the oven, and then you eat it. It doesn't kind of work like that in catering. There needs to be a little bit more leeway. You know, if you make your friends and family wait 10 minutes, a little bit longer when something's ready, then they just wait. A room full of people who are paying you, it's a little bit different. I think that's going to be slightly better. Although the questions kind of maybe kind of try it with what we call it, maybe a 90 grams worth of plain flour. But we'll see. We'll let that cool, and then we'll pull it out and have a look. Actually, could we do it now? Yeah, let's do it now. There's some fruit in the bottom, it'll be okay. I just get fed up of editing and sticking videos together and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I should have waited. That's all right. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. I think that's going to be better. I think that's going to be better. It'll hold together better. We'll let it cool down a little bit. See what it tastes like when it's hot. I think that'll be better. And those containers that I'm going to use are bigger. So that's probably if I was to use that recipe in well, bigger than that one. So maybe a smaller container. If it's going to sink in the centre, there's going to be that bit in the centre that's all like that. Which so the person who gets the centre bit, it's just going to be a bit rubbish. Bits around the sides, kind of quite nice. So that's probably going to be a better bit for the centre. We'll see. Yeah. I think that's it. I don't think I need to do any more. I think that's the one to go for. Ideally, you should really butter and sugar at the inside of the container so it rises a bit better. Like you would do a souffle. So a souffle, you would butter the inside of it and then put flour or caster sugar, but it makes a mess of the container and I'll have to wash it up. So I think that one's that. I think that's it. I'm not going to add another bit to it about how it's going to, what it's going to be like when it's cool, because I don't think it'll be any different. But if it has changed just before I go to bed, I'll have another look at it and kind of see how it's turned out. And if it looks any different, there'll be a little bit more of a video. But I think that's the one to go for.